first moto. And then, of course, look for the emerging lines. The track, it just keeps changing constantly. And you'd think with it being a little more hard-packed that it wouldn't, but it's totally, this track has surprised me so much today. And remember, the track workers have gone out and fixed a few sections here and there, so some of those new lines will pop up throughout the moto.
Mechanics move away. We are ready for our second and final 450 moto of the day. Sexton took the moto win. Tomac second, Anderson third. Be a fight for the overall win here as the Fly Racing 30-second card goes up. Sexton did not get the good start in the first moto and was still able to win it. See if he can replicate that kind of ride here.
That's why I left it off my keys of the race.
Don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
Starts
don't need
overrated. Don't need it. Okay, so here we go. I'll tell you, it'll feel a lot better if it's not eating roost, though, the entire time.
The roost here hurts. On the 450, trust me, I want this whole shot.
Here we go. Tomac going to lead them into turn one with Sexton on the outside. Ooh, Sexton got into that loose dirt, almost went down. Justin Barsha, I believe, in the number 2 spot. But motosport.com whole shot goes to Tomac. Aaron Plessinger right there. So it's Barsha, Plessinger, Sexton with Tomac in the lead. And I think Anderson working down the inside of the green Kawasaki. Beta Motorcycles drone shot as we hit gravity cavity. Up and out. So Plessinger loves this track. He's got a good start here in second. We'll see what he can do on the Red Bull KTM.
Well, oh, was that Barsha? Went
wide
in that turn. A lot of dust there on the outside tracks, a lot drier. They put down some water. It's going to make it a little bit slippery here on the opening laps. Fixed the takeoff at the tabletop.
Sexton filing into fourth with Anderson right behind him. Did not see any of Barsha in the first moto. Didn't have a good start, but much better for Barsha this year. Been a bit of a struggle of a season for him based on his usual standards. He makes a mistake, and Sexton is by immediately. Wow. Sexton making short work of that pass for a third.
Roxon back in 8th right now. He's made one pass over Gilbert on the Husqvarna, the number 323.
Oh,
Had a top
Gilbert
10
back
start.
out of the UK. Raced with us early in the year. He went back home to race his own national championship. And now must have a weekend off back in the U.S. So we watch Sexton here. He's closer to the front than he was in the first moto. And going after Plessinger for second.
Sexton pulling a tear off there over the massive tabletop here that comes back in.
Up to the top of the elevator. And then now the wall.
Yeah, I mean, this track, every part of this track practically has a nickname. And somewhere along the line, something significant happened.
Yep.
But this is, our cameras do not do the wall justice. It is really steep. It looks like they put some water down because it was getting dusty.
Yeah, you can see standing water actually in spots, so they've really got to be careful picking their way around. And Sexton goes after Plessinger for the number 2 position as they race down what used to be the finish line stretch, where it hooks onto the start. Oh, they almost come together. Sexton did not really have room to make that happen, but he tried.
Yeah, it was almost like he was forcing something that didn't really have an opportunity to succeed at. And he doesn't want to force that right now and make a mistake to take him out of the running for this.
Unbelievable what he did at the bottom of gravity cavity. He made up a full bike length on a straightaway, and now he's by. I don't know what Sexton is doing today, but he is doing it right. He just blew by Plessinger.
Yeah, he is riding with so much confidence right now. The crowd definitely is going to let Tomac know that something's happening behind him. Like, as a rider, you feel that. And he's like, okay, here we go. I don't know if Tomac has an answer today for Sexton. We're about to find out because Sexton now has a clear track being in second. He's got a clear track up to Tomac. And we have 26 minutes plus 2 laps left in this moto.
How much can that monster Yamaha Star Racing team figure out in between motos for Tomac?
If Sexton wins this moto and Tomac goes second, points lead goes to Sexton. The red plate.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to wonder if Tomac wasn't feeling entirely comfortable or feeling like he could run the pace of Sexton, did they make any change to the bike? Was there any changes to his mindset? Where is he at? We're gonna see over the next 30 minutes if he's gonna give it everything this moto and lay it all on the line, or if Sexton catches him, if he's gonna play it smart.
Yes, it's a 2-point lead in the standings for Tomac right now. The difference between a first and a second is 3 points. Anderson now closing on Barsha. This is for fourth. Plessinger in third, right ahead of them. Then it's Roxon, Dungey, Zavachi, Craig, and Gilbert. Who we don't see is Ferrandis. He's 12th. To give you the Thor battle box, those are your leaders. Oh, and Anderson, a good drive here. Closing on Barsha. Goes from outside to inside. And beautiful job by Anderson to seal him off.
Wow, that was such a nice slide job right there. He got in, didn't use any of the main lines. That was really unorthodox, just made a whole new line. Probably his instincts were telling him that turn, everything's pushing too wide. There's a lot of track on the inside of the exit of that turn. Maybe even fresh dirt where there's a little more traction. He made it work.
Big leap out of gravity cavity. Here comes Anderson now to close on Plessinger. And Anderson on the podium in our last race, on the podium in our last moto earlier today. Anderson do it again.
Yeah, Anderson's got such a unique style. He's got this, when he's feeling it, when he's feeling good, he's got this like attack mode that he goes into. He hangs off the side of the bike a lot. He kind of crouches down. Way different, totally different technique than, let's say, Chase Sexton. They look completely different on the bike to me. But also, when he gets comfortable, I mean, he's an animal on that. But he's just always kind of hanging off the side of the bike to me, you know? That's just his style. He makes it work.
Yeah, when Anderson's going, you would think it's impossible for anyone to beat him because he looks fast.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he's going all out. Now, yes, the more smooth style, those guys can go the same speed.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt of the effort when Anderson's really got it going. And Plessinger is going to have to deal with that right now. This would be for the number 3 position. Up ahead, Sexton, I believe it was 2.4 seconds at one juncture. It's now 2.1. She's starting to close on Tomac just a little bit.
Plessinger putting in some good laps right now. Last time around, the lap times were 2:19s. Plessinger at 2:21. Anderson at 2:20.
Tomac would have the overall today with a tiebreaker if it ends like this, 1-2, 2-1. But that's a massive if. You have to feel that the battle will be coming soon, as Sexton's not just going to settle for the number 2 spot here. Plessinger looking to throw down.
Yeah,
he looks a lot better here.
Big flick of the bike there as he goes over that tabletop.
And Plessinger says this track and the upcoming Ironman National 2 weeks from now are his 2 favorite tracks. So he's still confident he can get his year on track.
I think Anderson lost some time. Oh, no, there he is. Must have just been inside line creating something new again.
So it's been a disappointing season for Plessinger. Got second behind Anderson, actually, at the second round of Monster Energy Supercross way back in January. It looked like that was setting him up for a great season. But he wasn't able to replicate that, then later broke his arm. As one podium here in Motocross, but this is a guy that liked to be winning races, but much improved so far here.
Yeah, no doubt. Jason, look how the bikes are just jumping around, like sharply moving, okay? There's like roller bumps where the bike will move back and forth at a slower pace. Today, the bike is just, it's so super choppy, square edge bumps, and the bike's just front to back is just up and down. And that tells me just how rough it is out there.
Well, I want to know the combination of how slick it is in spots and the fact that the wheels are never settled. They're just bouncing and bouncing.
Oh, look at Anderson with the new line.
So how disconcerting is it to the rider? It's almost like the bike is never settled. That's got to be hard to feel confident when you're pushing it.
Yeah, Unadilla is really unique that way. And here we are at the toughest part of the day. Anderson creating some new lines there, went from inside over the inside rut, jumped to the outside. But it's this track is rough and nasty, and in the past it's been more like muddy, like deep ruts.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's a little bit more hard pack, and all these square edge bumps are starting to form.
Oh, Anderson was trying to set up an outside. He switches over.
Gonna cut back.
Yep, here it comes. Oh! Plessinger going to be able to hold it.
Okay, let's see if he uses this line again. Watch, he's going to enter the turn. He's way on the inside. Oh, he missed it completely.
Well, you said way on the inside. You're not joking. Too far inside there.
He missed all the braking bumps that time.
Back to the battle. Look at this. Sexton now has Tomac in his sights. It started as a 2.4 second gap. It is 1.0 now. It's 1.4, now 1.0. Sexton just has something dialed today at Unadilla. Can even Tomac stop him? Leaping out of gravity cavity. Is this going to be it?
That inside line's really good.
Got it.
Wow.
Chase Sexton. What is going on with him? Now, Tomac, a mad dash down to the inside to try to return the favor. Can't get it done.
And here, I mean, Sexton clearly is comfortable at the pace that he's on. Is there any chance that Tomac can, you know, stay on his wheel, learn some of his lines, figure out where this flow is coming from?
And in the first moto, Tomac said, I tried to learn from him, but I didn't stay with him that long, so I didn't get to see much. And he's marching away again. I cannot believe what we're seeing. Let's send it down to JT.
Guys, Chase Sexton is doing exactly what he did in the first moto. He kind of figured the track out, checked out the lines. I think he let it dry up a little bit from that water they added, and then he dropped the hammer, and he set his best lap of the race, that last lap, and you see him already starting to check out.
Now, as we mentioned in Moto 1, statistically, this is not Tomac's best track. He's not won a Moto here since 2018.
Well, let's take a look at how Sexton, Sexton just comes out of gravity cavity and airs it out. Tomac looks over like, uh-oh, I better move wide. I mean, Sexton just won't be denied right now.
Anderson is back in this battle for third against Plessinger. Last time he got a great drive up this hill, and he did it. Those ruts were so difficult on most of the riders. He greased it. He's into the number 3 spot. So Anderson rapidly becoming Mr. Third in this series behind Tomac and Sexton. So he's riding well. He's beating everybody else, but those two are just on a crazy level right now.
Yeah, I mean, 11 seconds off of the lead. It's not bad, but, you know, it's not where he wants to be. I mean, I think he's content with this for now, and he, after the first moto, had his podium speech. He talked about, hey, look, I'm still learning the bike. We're trying to get it together. He hasn't rode motocross in a while. And that's just the difference right now, like, is that when you're battling for the title, is you just find a way to go to that next level. And that's obviously where Sexton and Tomac are at.
And Sexton has gone next level beyond the next level. And I think the real question now, Jeff, is this Sexton just finding another gear, or is it a Unadilla thing? That's really going to be the question moving forward, because today he's left no doubt.
Yeah, well, neither rider has had a tremendous amount of success at this racetrack, but Sexton's figured something out.
Yes.
Right?
All right, so Tomac down 1.8. We'll show it to you in the Thor battle box. Can he stay with him and learn something from Sexton? He's keeping it closer this time than he did in Moto 1. You got to give him the 3-time champ credit for that. Hanging in there, looking to keep some pressure on.
Yeah, well, in the first moto, okay, you can take the second. If you win the second moto, you can still win the overall. You also have the ability to go back to the rig, make some changes to the bike, sort of regroup, watch, talk to your advisors and coaches and everybody. But now there's no third moto, so this is it. So now you leave it all out there. First moto, okay, need to make some changes. There's no changes after this, right? So now is when you really have to let it hang out. And Tomac's finding a way to do that.
He is. He's closing, I think. Yeah, he's got it down to 0.8. So it was about a second and a half. Now it's half of that.
And this is where the real mental battle comes in. Because now Sexton thinks, okay, blew him away the first moto. I'll go out and do it again. Uh-oh. I'm not pulling away from him.
Yeah.
Okay. This is when the mind games start to play, and this is where, me personally, I want to see if Sexton can withstand this pressure from Tomac, not make any mistakes. Okay, he did it a race ago. Got to do it again. Keep doing it again until you can prove it, right?
That is really one of the big questions on Sexton. He has been fast since the moment he jumped on a 450 at the start of the summer of 2020. But the mistakes have proven costly. He's cleaned that up tremendously this year. Finished first or second in every moto this year except one. So watch this battle, by the way. You've got Barcia and Roczen, and I believe Dungey in this fight. That is for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
And you notice there on that Thor battle box on the right, I'm really focused on the lines that Tomac is taking. For the most part, he's now just following in Sexton's lines. Also, coming out of the gravity cavity and some of these other jumps, much more aggressive, airing it out, okay? Putting that extra effort. And the further you jump, the harder you land, the more energy it takes, the more strength it takes it out of you. Maybe a quarter of a second faster, but it's also harder to do, okay? So this is this type of moto where you're looking at two of the best in the world, and they're going to try to leave it all out there right now.
Long way to go. Only halfway through this moto. 15 minutes remain. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on your insurance with a quick call to Geico. And this is so critical right now.
Little secret, I did.
You did it?
Yeah.
It'll save you some money.
It saved me some money.
Hey, I'm not a liar, okay?
Yep.
So here we go with a sky shot. And Tomac, yeah, this is a lot closer than it was an hour ago in Moto 1. Can he keep it that way?
Following those lines, but can he match his pace and his flow, okay? And how much energy is he putting out? Where only Eli really knows if he's on the edge or not. Like, how safely is he doing this? And you start to get into that risk factor, like, if, there's the dangle I was talking about in Moto 1. He's got the leg out behind him going up the hill, which is not really what you would coach, but he makes it work for his unique style.
Oh, he's digging right now. Eli Tomac is not going to go down here at Unadilla in Moto 2 without a fight. And as they do that, they start to do what they've done the last couple of weeks. March away from everyone else. They now have 17 seconds on Anderson.
Wow.
Then you saw that big battle. Plessinger, Barcia, Roczen, Dungey are all close. That is 4th through 7th. And look, Tomac a little quicker than Sexton last time around. What do you see there, Jason Thomas?
So this is really important, guys. Last moto, Eli Tomac could not get out of those 218s. When Sexton made his charge, he was still there, 218, even as he watched Sexton ride into the distance. This moto, he's been able to drop down to 217 and turned his best lap of the moto the lap prior.
And this is what champions like Tomac do. He's trying to adjust, but as quickly as he started to put pressure on Sexton, Sexton has responded and has opened it up to 2.2 seconds.
Yeah, Sexton was about 9/10 of a second quicker last time around. Tomac, I think it's going to be worse than that this lap. Just when we thought that, okay, he was hanging in there, it's going to be a little more than 2.2 seconds. Hear that two-stroke out there. That means Sexton's going to get into a few lapped riders.
Oh, and he is marching away again. Does Tomac have another charge in him? Let's give you the motorsport.com whole shot replay real fast here. Look at Sexton go so far wide, he almost goes down.
Yeah,
Tomac controls it. Yep.
Way out there. Tomac clearly dominated this whole shot. You had Barcia in there, the KTM, Plessinger. Motorsport.com whole shot, though. Number 3, Eli Tomac on that Monster Energy Yamaha.
Is this that same crazy battle that we had earlier? No, that is still Sexton and Tomac. There we go. Going up the elevator.
He's not that far off again.
Yep.
I don't know if Sexton had any issue with those lapped riders. It's 1.7. I thought he was dropping back. It was 2.2. Now it's 1.7.
He's right back in it. Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton. It has been the story of 2022. Unbelievable racing. And Sexton has to rail around the outside to get around the lap rider. They have strengths and weaknesses on different portions of this track, because now Tomac has lost a lot of ground after he just made up a bunch.
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll have to check the timing and scoring on the next sector where they go through to see where that's at. But hey, you got to give it to the 3-time 450 champ here. We got one time in the 250, so 4-time Pro Motocross champion.
Yep.
Eli Tomac, I mean, he's a bad dude. He's going to let it hang out. There's been some motos where he definitely is one of those riders that has that ability to the second half of the race to get it together. But this adversary that he has right now with Chase Sexton, it's challenging him.
Well, Eli said last week after Washougal, this is definitely the highest pace that he has ever dealt with, trying to win these championships in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Sexton has brought the heat. Let's see if Tomac has an answer today from New York.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Coming into this year, January, I break my pelvis the week of Oakland. The doctor's like, dude, don't walk on it for a month. I remember calling my parents. I'm like, well, I'm done. Like, and it's contract year. I was like, so I just wasted all this. I don't really see a sport that's like it, to be honest with you.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Awesome day for a motocross race at Unadilla, and the fans agree. They have showed out in huge numbers to watch this. The never-ending battle between Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac. But today it has gone in the Honda rider's corner. Sexton has caught and passed Tomac in both motos. Little mistake, quickly checks the gap over his shoulder.
Yeah, feet off the pegs and just looks back like no big deal, kind of roll with it. I mean, he definitely has a rhythm and a flow here today that is unmatched by anyone. I mean, even Eli Tomac, which it's like you never say that. You know,
exactly.
Especially this year when he had that run of nine straight motos
in a row.
Yeah.
And Sexton has taken that and managed to turn it back.
Well, and even through 9 straight motos of not winning, somewhere along the line, Sexton found a way to still score pretty good points and kept himself in the title hunt. This ride right now, the second moto, if it ends just like it is right now, he's taking the red plate. He's taking the points lead.
He'll have it back, yes.
Yeah, which is really impressive.
So I'll post this to Jason Thomas there, who's trackside, as you see the championship points. Yes, Sexton would have the points lead here. JT, I think that's going to be the big question. Is this a Unadilla thing, or is this Sexton just finding something for the stretch run? That's really going to be the question going into Budds Creek.
Well, I think it could be both, guys. I don't think this is Eli Tomac's favorite track. I think that's putting it mildly. But I also think every time that Chase Sexton does this, he's gaining confidence. He's gaining momentum, and it's going to make it a little bit easier each time. And don't forget, this series, the finale, is at Fox Raceway, where Chase Sexton has been absolutely lights out.
Yeah, he's won 2 overalls there on the trot for him. So it's going to be tough if it goes down to the finale to best him at that track. We'll go to Budds Creek. We'll go to Ironman. And then that'll be the finale back in California, where Sexton went 1-1 at the season opener.
Yeah, it just wasn't. He didn't just win both motos. He dominated.
Absolutely.
And kind of like today.
Checking in with Anderson here, who's third, around Plessinger. And then Barsha, there's Plessinger, Barsha would be next. Still unsure, not exactly where Plessinger wants to be. He'd like to be winning races, but a better ride for him in this moto than Moto 1. And then it's going to be Barsha in 5th in the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull Gas. Just hasn't quite been there for Barsha at the normal level this year outdoors. At a really solid Monster Energy Supercross campaign, but here Lucas Oil Pro Motocross started the year off the pace, and we saw him start to get it back at mid-season. This is not a bad day by any means, but he did win a national last year and not quite in contention to do that in 2022. Then you see Roczen and Dungey. Roczen and Dungey starting to hook it up pretty consistently in these motos, and they're battling right now behind the 51.
Yeah, I mean, how many great battles have Dungey and Roczen had throughout their career? Epic won down to the finish in this same championship. Was that 2014? 2014-ish.
Yep. Well, we have another one right now. Look at this. Dungey's all over Roczen. And this has been the trouble with Roczen, the latter half of the motos. Let's see if Dungey can make it his way around. Dungey.
That's the long way.
Yeah.
No berm out there. He got out there and like, uh-oh. Nothing to bank off of over here.
I have to turn eventually, right? Yeah, and he gets right back on Roczen here.
Oh, and that ruse coming up through there. It's races like this. I go, yeah, I'm glad I'm retired right now at this point. I did my time.
Okay, we head to the sky shot. Lap traffic still all over. There's Roczen. There's Dungey. Now, a lot of people wondering Roczen's future here. His contract is up with Honda, and I know he was talking to them at one point, but we have still not heard any sort of confirmation on any deal for next year. So it's kind of curious to have, usually riders at Roczen's level kind of already know where they're going to end up next year. So we'll see how that unfolds as we head into the offseason. A couple more weeks of racing to go. Roczen in 6th, Dungey 7th, Savacci is 8th. Craig, who had a huge crash in practice, struggled a bit today. He is in 9th. And Ferrandis in his return to racing is 10th. So a little bit tougher in Moto 2 for Ferrandis than Moto 1, where he was inside the top 5. Dungey still digging here on the Red Bull KTM to get Roczen on the Honda.
Yeah, he's been working hard just right there in that roost, lap after lap after lap. And eventually you just get tired of it. You're like, okay, I gotta make a push, stay in the roost, but try to make that pass. And a lot of times here with some lapped riders, creates a really good opportunity for that. Makes Ken have to make some choices, and if he makes the wrong choice and gets behind somebody like right here,
Dungey's got it.
Wrong choice.
You saw it coming, and just like that, Dungey's got the move. So that will move Dungey into 6th. Roczen looking to get him back. Savacci lurking back there. You see the green Monster Energy Kawasaki not too far behind these two.
Getting a little bit dark here in some of these sections. Sun starting to set, creating a little shadowed area there as you get down close to the trees. I've been watching Ryan Dungey all summer long, and the fact that he had been out of this championship for 5 years. He had been retired, started a family, was a businessman, different projects. The Ryan Dungey Foundation, which you guys got to check that out. Go online, check out, see all the good work they're doing there. And then decided, yeah, he's going to do a little bit of testing for the team. Gets back to Red Bull, KTM, does some bike testing, and they're like, wow, he's riding pretty good. Okay, you should do some races. Nah, I don't want to do any races. Oh, okay, I'll do some races. And now here he runs top 5s, right?
Yeah, originally it was only going to be 2, is what you said, just to see where he was, and he's in for the long haul, you know that. Also, salute to the Unadilla fans who, with 2 minutes and 2 laps to go here, the fans are going to leave it all on the racetrack. You can hear them really coming to life. I don't even know if they're cheering any particular rider.
Oh, yeah.
They're just, they got whatever they got left in the air horns.
Oh, yeah, we've had the air horns, the chainless chainsaws.
Yeah, the vuvuzelas.
Revved out. What do you call them?
Vuvuzelas.
Okay.
I believe I got that.
Yeah, just incredible. Just a spectacular crowd here today, too. We had a chance to go way back in the camping area. Just unbelievable support here. Just a beautiful farm here in upstate. And you just think back to the vision that this founder, Ward Robinson, had for this piece of land when he first rode his motorcycles through it years ago, you know, decades ago. So,
yeah, we lost Ward
spectacle
at 85 years old earlier this week. So obviously it's been tough on the Robinson family to put this event together, while also mourning the loss of their father, who carved a real legacy of this sport. Maybe the most historic track in all of American motocross. It was here in the late 60s, which is essentially when the sport started here, and then held huge international races when those were the biggest races in the sport. And that was called the old Trans AMA series in the fall. Epic battles between legends like Bob Hanna and Roger DeCoster. And that's the cool thing about Unadilla, yourself included, Jeff Emmett. You can pretty much find a photo of every rider who's ever been a big name in this sport carving laps at this track, because it had such an international flair, but also the Americans would come through here as well.
Yeah, world champions, national champions, Motocross of Nations champions. You all had to ride this soil and you know, deal with what Unadilla and Mother Nature sometimes can dish out.
Savacci putting on a great run here. The monster Kawasaki. He has caught Roczen. This would be for 7th.
God, you got to wonder. I mean, Roczen was your fast qualifier, but this summer, he just, late in these motos, it's he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, and I think it's an illness thing that caught him off in Washougal. Got to wonder if that's a problem here, and that's really been the story at Roczen for years now. Some sort of illness or weakness, not injuries per se, not the typical sprained ankle or bad wrist per se.
Yeah.
It has been his health, and he has tried everything. He spent off seasons going back to Europe, working with the folks at Red Bull back there in Austria, try to figure it out. When he's on, he's on. But then there's other days like this where he's fast. But late in these motos, it is tough for the 94. And he's clinging to this 7th place position ahead of Savacci.
Yeah, barely. I mean, Savacci's putting on such a good ride right now. A really tremendous effort. And, you know, he knows it's Ken Roczen up there. 2-time champion in this class, former world motocross champion. You know, looks like Roczen might have gained a couple of bike links right there, but Savacci just laying it all on the line here with 2 to go.
Yeah, but a nice summer for Savacci. He used to be part of that Kawasaki team. Then his position with 2 to go is taken up by Adam Cianciarulo, but Adam is out for the summer with a torn ACL. Savacci tore his ACL too, but he rushed back for a shot to get back with his old team and motorcycle. Now we should have Adam actually with us in the booth upcoming round of this series, as he's back on the motorcycle right now. Ferrandis is 10th in his comeback from injury. Malcolm Stewart is 16th in his first motocross race since 2014. And this year he was supposed to race the entire series, but he got hurt, twisted the knee in Supercross. Said he's been riding for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, and we didn't see on our MAV TV coverage what happened to Malcolm Stewart. I did catch the picture on social media that was not favorable.
No, big crash.
His feet were higher than his head, and the bike was sideways and all that. So return back from Malcolm Stewart hasn't gone exactly as planned.
Yeah, 16th right now. We talked to him this morning, and he's like, yeah, I've been riding for 6 weeks, but racing is going to be a totally different deal. He's well aware that it wasn't going to come back overnight for the very popular Malcolm Stewart. But that's the cool thing about these guys, him, Dean Wilson, Ferrandis coming back now. They've got 8 motos to build on before the season is over. Well, here it is, event points as they run. That is our overall finish. It's going to be a perfect score.
50.
2 moto wins, 2 25-point scores, 50 points for Sexton.
I mean, everybody was talking about Sexton after winning Washougal the last round and overcoming the challenges by Tomac and beating Tomac. Beat Tomac. He beat him heads up, right? 1 lap to go here at Unadilla, but now he's gone past Tomac.
Oh, yeah.
Again, and not just the last race was close.
He held him off. Yeah.
We're at 17 seconds. I forget what the first moto was, but it was a lot.
Yes.
I mean, this is a total dominance by Chase Sexton here in HRC Honda. And, I mean, he's made, what, 2 mistakes maybe? Other than that, have been absolutely perfect rides on a racing surface and a track that has given us some incredible highlights or lowlights, as I like to call them. Chase has given us the highlights. The rest of the riders, unfortunately, have given us a ton of lowlights. This is a tough track. The main battle is with the track here, not the other riders on the track. Sexton has just dominated it.
What's interesting was, in his younger days, Sexton was fast, he was solid, but I don't think people 7 or 8 years ago were saying this is the next big star of this sport. But there was an interesting side note to that Sexton from Illinois stayed there, and he would not ride during the winter. And the hope was that when it was time to turn pro, he'd be fresher. He wouldn't be burned out on riding, and he could make a bigger jump. Yeah, he's celebrating now. And I talked to him about that at Redbud a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, I think it might have been, looking back now, my dad's master plan. You know, peak when it mattered. And I think a lot of people knew this kid had talent, but this kind of talent, this kind of speed, to be able to go one-on-one with the greats, and he is on the verge right now. Even if he does not get it done for the title this year, he has staked his claim for the future as the guy to beat. But he doesn't want to wait and be the guy of the future. He wants to be the guy of right now.
Yeah, and it's the fashion in which he rides the bike and wins these races. Pure skill and talent, performance of the motorcycle, everything's working together. Like this looked like a pretty easy win. I mean, I hate to use that term so loosely.
Right.
But
they're never easy. We know that.
Yeah. Yep. But if it's not just grinding it out and barely pulling it off, if he can do this, you can duplicate this week after week.
And that is the question going into the final 3 rounds. Has Chase Sexton figured something out that no one can top? He dominates Unadilla. And Matt Burkina, the 2-stroke, fist pumps with him over the line. And Sexton is feeling it right now. He knows how critical this is for the title, confidence, momentum, you name it. He's got it right now.
Yeah, and Honda and Chase Sexton have just taken the points lead away from Eli Tomac. Those comments don't get said very much,
No. And Tomac, look, it's probably going to be Tomac's last run in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, but he's still riding as well now as we've ever seen him go. Mm-hmm. And Sexton is answering against that type of challenge. And he is pumped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and right, he comes in, as you mentioned, down 5 points. He gained 6 today, so he will take the red plate into Budds Creek. Soak this up here. Chase Sexton, absolutely the man today at Unadilla.
At Beta, the best just got better. With the new 2022 Beta RR models, delivering an unmatched, refined riding experience. And the new 2022 Cross Trainer, the #1 selling entry-level enduro on the market. Beta produces the most rideable motorcycles in the world. Check one out at a Beta dealer near you.
You were born for this. Folks may think it's just cutting grass, but you know better. Those weeds were born to die, and Rhino mowers were born to kill them. Get to work now with a Rhino TW Series single spindle mower with a 2-inch cutting capacity and prices starting at less than $1,300. And check out Rhino's great long-term financing options. You were born for this. Rhino, born to lead.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With a nationwide network of parts and care, Napa helps you get up and go. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
We are back here at Unadilla, the Parts Unlimited Unadilla National, owned by Chase Sexton. We'll show you how. Lucas Oil race recap. Eli Tomac grabs the Motosport.com hole shot. Honestly, you give Tomac a hole shot most of the time, it's over.
Yeah, Sexton had a good start, was fourth right there, made a couple of moves. You got Barsha and Plessinger up there, but right here, Sexton, he just wants it. He wants it more than Tomac at the moment, and just flies past it, comes out of the gravity cavity, airs it out.
Now, Tomac fought back a little more in this moto than he did in Moto 1. He stayed closer for longer. But in the final couple of minutes, he got away. So we shift the tension back to this battle. Look at this charge by Plessinger. He was battling it out with Anderson. This is for the number 3 spot.
Yeah, Anderson has really solidified that he's the 3rd best guy out there right now. And you're on the podium. That's not bad. It's not bad. Not enough to win, though.
Checkered flag is out, and Chase Sexton goes 1-1. Very similar Moto 1 to Moto 2. Tomac will go 2-2 on the day, and Anderson 3-3. So, yeah, there's your proof of the 3rd best guy right now. Plessinger, a solid moto in 4th. It's a big battle there of Barsha, Dungey, Roxon, Savacci, Craig, and Ferrandis in his first race of the year. Ends up 10th. Let's go to the podium.
Chase Sexton, you can't draw it up much better than that. Heck of a day. You win the overall. You go 1-1. You get the red plate back. I don't know what else you could do possibly good today other than that.
Other than qualify fastest, I mean, it was an awesome day. Struggled in qualifying, but made some good bike changes, and man, I felt awesome out there today. These running conditions really suit my style, and I knew that coming in, I needed to capitalize here, and I feel like we did that. We did as best we could, and you know, these fans are unbelievable. One of the biggest turnouts all year, and I'm just stoked on how today went. My team's been awesome, and I just couldn't be happier. I'm just ready to battle this thing to the end and have some fun with it.
So can you feel the confidence changing a little bit like that? Moto 2 at Washougal really felt like it was kind of a watershed moment where you kind of crossed that bridge, got over the hump, and then you followed that up today.
Yeah, that second moto at Washougal was big for me. I needed to stop Eli, and then I finally got that. And now I feel like I have some pretty good confidence. And, man, I'm just having a blast riding right now. And it's been an awesome summer. And, man, I just want to keep it going. But I can't thank my team enough. They've been behind me so much, even through the ups and downs. I just want to keep this thing going, and the fans are awesome. Just stoked on today.
Confidence is a scary thing.
And boy, does he ever have it now. Unbelievable. He was able to weather 9 straight moto wins by Tomac and stay in it. Finished 2nd in every one of those. And now, look at this. He's going to, first he's going to sign the backdrop, but then he is going to accept the red plate as the Championship Series points leader for the 2nd time this year. Here's your overall results today. Plessinger will end up 4th with 7-4 scores. Dungey 5th. Ferrandis 7th. Behind Roxon, then it was Barsha, Savacci, and Craig. With a big crash of practice, salvaging a top 10. Let's go to the podium.
Eli Tomac 2-2 on the day. You led both motos. I don't think that's exactly how you wanted things to go, but could be worse. You're going to have a battle for the rest of the championship, I do believe.
Did what I could. Chase was just strong today, really strong today. But you know what? This is an improvement for me here. My last few years here haven't been great on the 450s, so felt like it was okay, you know, to hang on with that 2-2. Did what I could, got the good start there, but obviously Chase was riding really well today. Thank you to the team. I actually thought I made my bike a little bit better that second moto. I was happy with that, and just kept fighting, and we'll push on for next weekend.
Yeah, I don't know what else he could do. We just got to give credit when it's due sometimes.
Yeah, and Tomac's been around, and now he's got to return serve. He's got to answer back. Only a 1-point deficit. That's the thing, is this momentum swings. The points lead goes with it.
Yeah, but it's interesting how mature and how confident like he is with those comments. Like, look, okay, yeah, I got beat today, both motos, but in the big picture, this was one of my best trips here to this track. So really and we made the bike better. We made some changes, all that stuff. So good to hear from Eli.
Take the positives there. There's the rest of the top 10 in the standings. We'll send it back down to the podium.
Jason Anderson, another third place, and to me, from my perspective, it feels like you're cementing yourself as that third place guy, which I'm sure you want more than that, but that's a really positive step.
Yeah, it's a positive step, but after you get third enough times, like the podium on this step is, you know, kind of a bummer. Not a bummer, but I'm happy to be up here, and I feel like I'm making progress, but man, those guys up front of me are ripping right now. So good day for the team. Glad to be on the podium, and I'm trying to finish out these last 3 rounds strong.
Well, these guys want to win, Weege, so you can understand the disappointment with third.
Yeah, mixed emotions there from